Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today, in person and online, live. We will now begin the monthly service for Ikiami Konko Daijin-sama, our founder. Please join us in prayer. Officiating service today will be me, Edna Sensei, and my brother, David Nyano. Thank you. はい、お願いします。移動入り。Mediation Prayer, page 2. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Ikiami Konko Daijin, sincerely and wholeheartedly, each and every day. May we receive the mediation in you with all our hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Ikiami Konko Daijin-sama, Ikiami Konko Daijin-sama, Ikiami Konko Daijin-sama, Ikiami Konko Daijin-sama. Purification Prayer. Through the way of mediation, may our sincere apologies be acceptable to you, our Divine Parent. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, arrogance and ignorance of your divine favor. We apologize for all our shortcomings and irreverences from past generations. Guide us to amend our way of living to reflect your divine will, with a pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you. Kami Prayer. Reverently we pray. The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth, time filled without cease, years pass without end. In heaven and earth is a life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is a truth that orders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise Senshi Kane no Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as a divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessing, this is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortune, great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daijin, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast with faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing, and began a life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The divine parent's great wish was fulfilled. Konko Daijin accepted the call to mediation, that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth, and he knew not the coming of night. By night he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered, and he knew not the dawning of day. The years passed and the world changed. He did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Tenchi Kachitsuke, the guiding principle for our daily life. The divine favor was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of the Konko Daiji. By this wondrous liberation, we are given knowledge of the way, through all the hardships of this world, through pain of body and soul. The way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Kami. Without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far, the way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us, we are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray, so we earnestly pray.
Okay, as far as in prayer for the Saishi, main Saishi prayer.
Main Saishi prayer for the monthly service for Ikeyami Konko Daiji. Ikeyami Konko Daiji sama and the great life force Tenchi Kani no Kami. On behalf of the Konko mission of Wahiawa, I, Edna Sensei, reverently state the following prayer. We have gathered here today for the monthly service for the founder, Ikeyami Konko Daijin, on this day, February 12, 2023. Through this service, we extend our sincere gratitude and acknowledgement of the divine work, contribution, and perpetual presence of our founder, who has been sent to the world as the divine will of the life force, for the sake of humanity. We solemnly acknowledge the divine will revealed to humanity in 1873. Tenchi Kari no Kami stated, although people live between heaven and earth, they are unaware of Kami's blessings. Shrines, temples, and the houses all stand on Kami's land. Without realizing this, people consult the days and directions and are disrespectful to Kami. They suffer hardships due to these offenses. Tenchi Kari no Kami has sent Ikeyami Konko Daijin to provide blessings and teachings so that mankind may prosper. Kami is Kami because of man, and man is man because of Kami. Both are fulfilled through this mutual relationship. Through the divine will, we have become enlightened to the infinite blessings of the life force Tenchi Kari no Kami and have enjoyed blessings in all aspects of our lives. We extend our deep appreciation for the work of Holy City Divine Mediation for the well-being of humanity and a peaceful world. This divine function has been kept by the spiritual head of the Konko religious organization in the last 164 years. This year marks the 209th anniversary of the founder, Konko Daiji, and also marks 140 years since his departure. We extend our prayers and appreciation for the perpetual services of Otoitsugi by the sixth spiritual head, Reverend Hiromichi Konko. We pray for his good health and continued services. We also extend our thanks to the ministers who have dedicated their life in spreading the Konko faith at many places throughout the world. The founding minister of this church, the late Reverend Haruko Takahashi, was initiated into the Konko faith and evolved to become a Konko minister through the Toitsugi she received from the Reverends Masayuki and Kikue Kodama of the Konko Mission of Honolulu, and dedicated in her missionary work in Wahiawa for 32 years since 1940. We extend our deep appreciation and heartfelt gratitude for enabling us to perpetuate the operation of this church in the last 83 years. It is through the divine guidance and arrangements, as well as the support and help of all people who have connections to this local church, and the help of all the Mitama spirits that we are able to come thus far. We sincerely ask our divine parent, Ikeyami Konko Daiji, and the Mitama spirits to continue to help and guide us in the practice of faith and further expand the Konko faith organization in Hawaii. We have been trying to be mindful of all elements of heaven and earth which we may take for granted, whether it is the water we use, the food we enjoy, the air we breathe, the land we live on, the natural resources we utilize, the jobs we have, the families we perpetuate, and all our normal bodily functions and abilities. Thank you for the blessings we have enjoyed in our personal and social lives. Let us put faith into practice. With our presence here today, please accept our appreciation and deep felt gratitude for the blessings we received. Let us remember that Konko Dajin is always there to help us, aid us, guide us to be able to deal with any encounters in life. Thank you for your extended perpetual prayer. When the people of the world pray to Konko Dajin with a sincere and single heart, please fulfill whatever requests they have. We sincerely apologize for any negligence and ignorance for the sustenance of blessings we may fail to recognize and appreciate, and any reverences and offenses we may commit knowingly and unknowingly. Please help us to reform our hearts to be in line with the heart of Kami. No one is aware of the blessings of heaven and earth which enable people to live. Kami shall have people become aware of the blessings of heaven and earth by having Konko Daiji be born throughout the world, where the sun shines in every country without exception. We strive to become even one of those people who are able to be aware of the blessings of heaven and earth which enable us to live. We continue to extend our prayers for places throughout the world that have been experiencing hardships due to natural disasters, crime, poverty, famine, corrupt governance, pollutions, and any other elements. Let us put forth extra prayers for the people whose lives have been devastated by the recent earthquake in Turkey and Syria, where more than 30,000 people have been killed and countless injured and left homeless. Please allow us to be of service to you in helping others as our utmost appreciation and blessing we have been able to enjoy. We pray that the blessings of today's service is granted to one and all. Thank you.
I did 4 solemn cuts.
Recitation of Tenchi Kakitsuke, page 6. Ikigami Konko Daijin Zenshi Kane no Kami Shingi Nirai Okage wa waga kokoro ni ari Kongetsu konnichi de kanome. Pray sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day pray. Ikiyami konko daijin tenshi kane no kami shinni erai. Okage wa waga kokoro ni ari, kongetsu konnichi de tanome. Pray sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day pray. Adoration Prayer, page 7. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward earth rich and deep. Living amid such gifts of Kami's great giving, how happy and grateful we are. The mediation of Ikiyami Konko Daji does not stop for a single day. The protection of the Divine Parent embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit through all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, we praise the virtues of Kami beyond the power of Kami. Shintoku Sanji, page 29. 仰ぎますれば天高く仰ぎますれば天高く拝みますれば主は寿司神の恵みにかさるに幸いぞありがたき我が生きらびの通り過ぎ人日もかくる時のなく天使の神の御守りときしかき隔てなし間に尽くしみをよろずよに山ねく道で果てしなく願はからいはくすしくて人の思いぞ呼ばざる我ら今月今日やみますにてひたすらに神の御影をたたえますら神の比例を仰ぎますら喜怒哀乐喜怒哀乐Mitama Prayer, page 12. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you are given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally. Your lives be told from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. Through the mysterious workings of Kami, you enter the Konko faith. You walk the way of Konko Daiji, respecting the will of the divine parent. You amass great merit through your faith to take into the world beyond and lead to your descendants. Our gratitude is boundless for your loving favors. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our home, our own divine spirits. We beseech you to stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Now we may never lose the way of faith. Now we hand it down to all generations. Now we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. I'd like to offer a tamagushi for the people who passed away in Syria and Turkey for the recent earthquake. So let us put our prayers together for the people who passed away. 4030 page 36。世々の親は我家の神我が神と心尽くしてつきまつらな心尽くしてつきまつらな尊き御親の神たちを海の子のために家の柱を沈め立てたまい初子のために世のなりわい守り助けたまい隠り世の見え境に増しませども見尽くしみの御心は写し世に変わらせたまわず先御霊のまさき草木はえたまい不死御霊のくしりに恵みたまいて志を薪の柱の動きなくなりわいは結ぶつなめのゆるみなく真心清らに励み努めしめたまいからやからや笑い愛的にけにやすく楽しましめたまいついに移し世のことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい慈しみよしめたまわんものと神の実りの絶えなるをかしこみかたじけなみに親の恵みのぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すこと御心もすずやかにきこしめしたまえと申す花くしりのみ親のみ霊花くしりのみ親のみ霊花とのみ親の神花とのみ親の神一度入り 日教神殿。この兵器境に声配差し止めるからその分に承知してくれ。外影を出し農業へで人が願いで呼びに来戻り、願いが済みまた農へでまたも呼びに来農業する間もなし。北人の町両方の差し支えにあいなる。なんと影をやめてくれぬか。その方42歳の年には病気でしもう手を離し、心配だし神仏に願いをかけて全開だし、その時死んだと思うて欲を離して天地界の神を助けてくれ。家内もご家になったと思うてくれ。ご家よりましもの言われ相談もなり、子供を連れてぼとぼと農業をしよってくれ。この方のように実い丁寧神信心いたしうる氏子が世間に何本も難儀な氏子は糸い次助けてやってくれ。神も助かり氏子も立ち行く。氏子あっての神、神あっての氏子。繁盛いたしすえずえ親にかかり子にかかり愛をかけようで立ち行く。Page 70. The Divine Message received on November 15, 1859. With the completion of this sacred staff, I'll end your farming career. Please understand. When you are out farming, the person at home has to go out and call you whenever someone comes to give a request. And after you relay the request, you have to go back out again. You have to keep going in and out of the field. This gives you little time for farming, and the worshiper must also wait for you. Both you and the worshiper are being inconvenienced. Won't you stop farming? When you're gravely ill at 42, the doctor gave up hope. Everyone worried about you. You prayed to the kamis and Buddhas and were blessed with complete recovery. Regard this event as your death. Dispel all desires and Christianchi Kane no Kami. Also, your wife should consider herself a widow. This is better than being a real widow, as she can still talk to you and discuss matters. She should take the children with her to do the farm work. There are many people like yourself who have sincere faith in Kami, but still have many problems. Help these people by performing mediation. This will help Kami and save people. People exist because of Kami, and Kami exists because of people. Thus, Kami supports people as Kami children, and people support Kami as their parent. There will be eternal prosperity through Ayo Kakeyo, mutual interdependency. Let's read page 73, the Konko Faith Our Creed. We believe in Tenchi Kane no Kami, the divine parent of the universe. Our founder Konko Daijin embraced Kami's revelations, and as divine mediator answers the call to eternal mediation. Our continuing goal from moment to moment is to realize Kami within each of us. We are fulfilled through Kami, Kami is fulfilled through us. The happiness of everyone is Kami's greatest wish. We give thanks for Kami's blessings, mysterious, wondrous, and mundane. Blessings begin with our own hearts filled with harmony and joy. We pray wholeheartedly to Kami, today and every day, trusting Kami as our loving parent, finding peace of mind. We love our faith and service to Kami, each other, and our world. Nurturing and nurturing, mutually fulfilled. We revere those who have gone before us, spirits one with Kami, caring for us eternally. Respect and appreciate other paths taken by humanity towards spiritual fulfillment. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Okay, so today is our monthly service for Ikyan Konko Daijin. Our beloved founder, who had shared the way to a better understanding of life in general and the universe. Yano Sensei and Reiko Sensei, as you can see, are not here. They are in Japan. They went to attend the Konko Church of Tokiwadai's 60th anniversary celebration in Tokyo, which was held on Saturday, February 11th in Japan. And I heard it was really cold when they landed.
So my mom going with my dad was a very last minute decision. My dad had already purchased his ticket half a year ago, and he was supposed to go by himself. But just recently, I went to work one day, and one of the retired teachers was like going around and saying hi to everybody. And he just sat right next to me. He's one of my favorite doctors, by the way. And he says, "Oh, Edna, so like you're going to Japan this year?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to Japan with my husband and two students for karate. And we're going to go in June, and I already purchased the tickets." And he's like, "Oh, right now, there's a $200 one-way ticket to Japan, Tokyo." And I was like, I didn't believe him, I was like, what? So I checked on Google Flights, and indeed, he was right. There were $200 one-way tickets to Japan, to and from. So a round trip would be like $400 on Zip Air. So it was only for the month of February. So I sent these text messages to several of my friends who love Japan, who live in Hawaii, and I also texted to my dad about this shockingly low price to Japan. So because my mom also read that message, and she was really shocked, so she called me that evening after I was power. She thought it was cheap to buy tickets now for a trip that we want to make in October for a Japan trip. But I said, no, it's only for the month of February. October is going to be another price. It's going to be more expensive. And I said, why don't you just go with Otosan, I just jokingly said that. Just go with Otosan. And my dad literally took those words. And in an instant, he bought a ticket for my mom to go as well. And this was like almost less than 1 week before we leave. So the interesting thing is, I texted my dad about the low plane fare in the afternoon. But that morning, before I even told him, he had a thought come up to his heart and said, maybe Reiko's going to come with me. He thought, that thought came up to him. So indeed, that came true. And he was able to purchase a ticket for my mom on the same exact flight, same plane, on the same dates, and for a really, really good price. And so I called them yesterday, and they said they were doing good. They attended the anniversary, and it went really well. And they will be coming back on Tuesday morning. So when my parents came here for their ministry 46 years ago, they left their families in Japan thinking they will never be able to fly back to Japan again. It's like, this is like goodbye, So they were telling their family, that even their parents, I will not be able to go to your funeral if you died, and all that kind of stuff. But here we are 46 years later, and we are like going to Japan like annually, sometimes twice annually, and receive that kind of really amazing blessing from Kami-sama. And it's a blessing that we never thought would be possible like 46 years ago. But we had that prayer, so Kami-sama answered them. If you really have the desire to do something or go somewhere or meet someone, then it will be possible. If you have that really strong, like, no matter what, I gotta do this, or I want to meet this person, or I want to go here, then Kami-sama will make a way for you. It's really amazing. But it's your call to take that opportunity. Kami-sama will be like, here you go, here's your opportunity. Are you gonna take it? And, but sometimes Kami-sama will throw you a curveball too, Kami-sama will throw you all kinds of balls. A slow ball, a high ball, a low ball, a rolling ball. But that ball will eventually come to you. And you gotta take it or you're gonna miss that opportunity. So don't hesitate, receive it graciously. In Japanese, it's called arigataku ukeru. The same thing applies when things are given to you. What you pray for will be heard by Kami-sama. What you put into the universe will be heard. And so chances will be given to you. Sometimes the chances will come suddenly. It's like you're not even expecting it. And you have to take it now or it's going to be gone. So I suggest you to seize that opportunity right then, right there, and act on it and say, thank you, Kami-sama, for this chance. You will receive okage if you can accept things graciously. So, and don't be discouraged. Kami-sama gives you a chance, but sometimes we give excuses, yeah. Do you catch yourself giving excuses sometimes? Like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. You know, someone might give you something, and you're like, oh, I wanted something better. or some people are like, I'm not deserving of this. No, I'm too. Oh no, that's too good. You can't give that to me. No, and they're like too humble, a little too humble. They don't even accept it because they feel they're not deserving. My mom does that all the time, and I say, oh, cousin, this is your chance. You gotta take it. And some people be like, oh, I'll wait for the next opportunity. You know, the chance is here. Take it. Or like, yeah, I'll wait for a little bit better one. And another excuse we give is, oh, Kami-sama gave this chance to me, but I can't afford it. I'll give you two of my examples of me accepting the opportunity when it arose. The first one, meeting my husband via online dating. I would never have thought of doing that. Never in my life. But my bestie, Edna Sensei, suggested it to me. I was hesitant at first because I thought no one in the world would like me. I didn't even like myself. I thought I was the ugliest person in the world. And I thought that the people online were all creepy perverts too. So I was like, But because I listened and I accepted that suggestion, I am now happily married, and I feel really grateful that I listened to that suggestion and that Kami-sama gave that opportunity too. The opportunity was, the next opportunity was when I was accepted into nursing school. I spent a few years getting my prerequisites, right? At Leeward Community College, and I got all my credits that I needed to go to nursing school. And then I applied for UH School of Nursing, and then I got that acceptance letter. You know, it was a nice big envelope. I was so happy. Yet I felt kind of doomed at the same time, because I was like, yes, I can get into nursing school. But then I was like, but I don't have the money. I had no money. It's like, I haven't had enough money to buy like one book, and those books are really expensive in nursing school. So I didn't have money to pay for the first year of nursing school tuition and the books. The rest of the semester, I don't have to worry because I was granted financial aid. But I couldn't pay for the very first semester because, the financial aid comes after you enter school, which doesn't make sense because I said, I need the money now. And I couldn't ask my parents because they were struggling financially too. I was like, oh no, I don't know who to ask. So I needed money ASAP to at least pay for my first year of nursing school so I could enroll. So I called my brother, Rodney, in San Francisco, and I said, Rodney, I got into nursing school. And he was so happy for me, He was like, oh, all right on, Edna, that's great, congratulations. And I was like, can I borrow some money? I asked Rodney to borrow some money, and he was like, he willingly accepted my pleas. And he didn't be like, I guess. He didn't say that. He was like, yeah, of course, I'll lend you some money. And that really saved me, If he was even a little bit hesitant, be like, can you ask somebody else? Then I would be like, well, you know what? No, I don't think I can do this. But he was so willingly able to lend me money. So I borrowed money from him, and he graciously lent the money to me. He sent me the check ASAP, so I was able to pay for my first semester of nursing school. And when my financial aid started to come in, I was able to slowly pay him back. I'm so grateful, Randy. Thank you so much. I hope you watch this one. I also borrowed money from the headquarters, the Konko headquarters. They also lent me money. It's for ministers who are eligible. And in so many ways, I've received help from a lot of people. A lot of people. And we all have been helped by people in our lives, by everybody, friends, family, and even total strangers help us out. This is a love of Kami-sama, the help from people. So don't ever think we did it by ourselves. Never. Or our arrogance is going to make us tumble down and make us start back at square one again. So again, receive opportunities graciously. Do toitsuki mediation to sensei to receive peace of mind for opportunities you accepted. Because sometimes, these opportunities are really huge, they're life-changing. So this decision that you may feel grateful for, but you're kind of anxious, you're worried, it's like, oh no, I wonder if it was the right choice. And so you always do toitsugi with sensei, call us, text us, email us, and we'll pray for you. And just mediate everything to kami-sama. And have kami-sama accompany you always to anything or any journey that life will take you. So, yeah, and then if you do that, you'll be glad you did. So try that. Trust in kami-sama, accept things graciously, and remember to always continue to give thanks and remember the roots of your blessings. Thank you. Today we have David Sensei. I know you can't wait to hear David Sensei's sermon today. So we'll let's listen with our eyes, ears, and our hearts. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you for coming to today's monthly service. I think my mom, Reiko Sensei, talked about me getting hurt at the beach. So I feel within myself, I think I got hurt because I was just thinking more like negative thoughts. I just been having like more negative thoughts within like that week. I know I was gonna start work. That was like my last day of vacation, and I wanted to enjoy myself by going to the beach. But like during that day, I just felt within myself like something's gonna happen to me. Like something not good is gonna happen. I could just feel it within myself. It was just I just kept going deeper and deeper into like a negative thought. Just it's because I saw my bully like that when I was like a kid, and I was like,
What?
I hate that guy. Like I just kept thinking like, oh my god, this is not good. And like I know it was him. So like I just think back in the past, like oh my god, this guy made me suffer so much, and so I just kept going like deeper and deeper into like a darker spot. And that day that I went to the beach, I was like, something's gonna happen. And like I said, I just said it, like something's gonna happen. I felt it within myself, like something not good is gonna happen. And like I told my significant other that, she said, don't say that. And then it was like I didn't think too much of it. And so it was like I wanted to enjoy myself. Went to the beach, and then the waves are good. I've been going, so I go to Waikiki a lot, and I've been there for like years. Never ever have I ever gotten hurt that bad at the beach. So I timed the time to go to the beach. So I usually time it for the high tide So I went during high tide. I had like an hour before it goes to like, before the tide starts going down. So caught a nice wave. The wave was great. So I caught it. And when I caught the wave, I rode the wave and my leg just hit the reef like solid, like it was a real solid hit on the reef, and it ripped a hole in my board shorts. It would normally not rip. I've hit the reef before at the beach, but not to the point where it would rip my pants. So when I saw the hole in my pants, I thought, oh my god, this is bad. Like this is not good. So I was grateful that I did not pass out. I didn't hit my head or anything like that. I was able to like swim back inside and like walk back to the car and everything. I hobbled to my car, but I was still able to walk to my car, like way more easy than how I am right now. But I went to urgent care. They said, oh, you can go home, just watch out for like increased swelling. But like within like 1 or 2 hours after I got home, like my leg became like 2-3 times the size. It was like so fat, like I couldn't walk. Like it just felt tight like a balloon. I'm still hobbling right now when I'm walking, but it's much better now compared to before. So I went to the hospital, and my significance is, you want to go to the ER? I was gonna try to man it up, to like to like sleep it off. But within myself, I thought something's wrong. Like this is not good. Like within even myself, I thought I think I really want to. I have to go no matter what. So I mean, I went and they did a CT scan and it showed like bleeding in the inside of my leg. It was like real deep. So I guess one of the blood vessels, one of the smaller arteries, like it burst or ripped or whatever from the trauma, and so my leg was like swelling up and my blood levels were going down like pretty fast. Not to the point where I needed a transfusion, but enough where I felt pretty crappy. So like I know how an anemic person feels now. Like my hemoglobin was like maybe 11, 12, and then went up to like 8. So 8 is pretty bad. So like throughout this whole time, I've never sat on the opposite side of when I take care of the patient. I'm usually like the nurse taking care of others, and I'm like sitting, I'm like lying in bed and being taken care of, and it felt weird, but it really did make me appreciate other people's help. It really made me appreciate having good health. My dad gave the sermon. I remember my dad's sermon. It's like when there's nothing happening in your life, just like a normal everyday life where there's no incidents. There's like just a boring day is like an actual blessing in itself. And I really feel that right now. Like I know people complain about work. I've complained about work, saying, "Man, I wish I was off, or I wish I didn't have to work." But man, I would trade in like my physical ability to like go back to work again. Like I'd be like willingly going back to work right now. It's pretty miserable, like sitting at home, not being able to do like even the simplest stuff. I had to ask my sister to put on my sock this morning. Like it's just the simple stuff to just walk around. I walk around with a cane, so I've been walking around with a cane recently, and it truly like opened my eyes to make me realize within my own self like how like your everyday living, like when there's nothing going on, like a boring everyday life, is actually a blessing. Like when I got hurt, I mean, it made me sad, but I felt Kami-sama gave me an injury, so I learned a lesson. I do feel that Kami-sama gave me this to teach me something. I'm still trying to go through what Kami-sama is trying to tell me at the moment, but I don't know if he's telling me to slow down or to try to be more optimistic, to be thankful for the everyday things that we have in our life. And so, I don't know how long I'm gonna be out right now. The doctor did give me 2 weeks, but like at this rate, I can barely walk right now. So when I see other people like just walking like regular and like complaining, it's like, dude, you have no idea. It's like I really truly understand like the people who are hurt, like people who are like walking across the street slow with their cane or whatever. I was like, I will never ever complain about that again. Like, you know, it's the everyday things that you just have to be thankful for. You never know the blessings you receive until you lose it, and you should just never take things for granted. That was the main thing that I felt I learned when I got injured. So yes, this is the worst injury I've ever sustained within my life. I hope I never get anything worse, but because I never know what's gonna be like held in the future. So the main thing for me is that I am trusting in Kami-sama, that Kami-sama is giving me some sort of lesson in life, and you know, practicing faith really does help cope, help deal with life in general. I think the one thing that we should never forget is to not practice faith and to just always remember Kami-sama within our heart. And that's it.
You read this one?
Bryce read this long one.
Oh, this one, the long one. Okay.
Then count 1, 2, 3.
And then so
One, two.
grandma and
Oh, okay. So 10 years later is when my dad read it. Okay, so in March then. Must be this one, this March one.
Back in the scroll.
Yeah, it must be here then.
Auntie Sensei, yeah.
Yeah, I think my dad read this kind of long one. Okay, thank you.
Bryce read that long one.
Bryce read this one, not this long
Yeah.
one. Yeah, yeah.
And then Jane, and then so,
Okay,
Yeah, by
so
March.
okay, thank you. So we are on page 91, and we're going to read the second paragraph by March of 1869. David, you want to read?
Okay. By March of 1869, the understanding of Makora's Konjin had been refined to include Daishonkin. On March 17, 1869, Kami informed Konko Daishin the honorific titles of Mitten, Shi, and Gatten Shi refer to that which covers the entire universe. The title of Daishogun Makora's Konjin, which appeared on the lower left side of updated scrolls where just Makora's Konjin had been seen, refers to that which is related to the earth.
In the scroll, the inclusion of the name Kyam Konko Daijin indicates that Konko Daijin was considered a divine entity. Thus, this scroll is very important not only as an object to guide worship, but also as revealing the divine nature of the relationship which exists between Kami and Konko Daijin. It was so important that Konko Daijin made copies and gave them to his most ardent believers.
People have been calling Bunji living kami of Otani after he recovered from what had been believed to be a fatal illness at age 42. In those days, an ikigami or living kami referred to a person who was revered and had the power to save people. Although Bunji was seen in this way, he continued to have the attitude he expressed in statements such as, "Though I am not a divine being, people call me ikigami, and I am not a divine being, I am just a common farmer."
People have been calling have been Bunji's long cherished desire to save others by practicing faith. He would begin teaching worshippers that they too could become a living kami by saving others. Bunji was given the divine name Ikigami Konko Daijin because he lived his life manifesting kami's divine works through his sacred mediation, coming to the realization that through sincere faith and anyone who saved others could themselves become a living kami. Although Ikigami Konko Daijin became his official divine name and was used throughout the remainder of his life, he was more frequently called Konko Daijin. In addition to conferring the divine title of Bunji, Kami also directed him to stop wearing the haori, a casual short jacket worn over a kimono. He was also told to have a more formal ceremonial trouser called hakama, made with long pleated skirt-like clothes.
On the same day he was given the new divine name, Kami instructed Konko Daijin to make a banner with the inscription, "May there be peace throughout the provinces, prosperity in all provinces, and safety for all people. Pray for this daily," and place it on display. The phrase prosperity in all provinces literally meant to pray that the people who lived in more than 60 provinces in Japan would live in harmony and that their living conditions would be free from distress. This may have been in response to the many people who were suffering as a consequence of the political reforms and social disturbances after the collapse of the Tokugawa shogunate. The problem with displaying such a banner in public was that a prayer of this kind of universal peace would have been considered audacious for an ordinary person to express.
The mountain priest criticized Konko Daijin for his audacious act, pointing out the burning of a holy fire for 1 week was symbolically the same message. This response resulted from the fact that only priests or monks with specific authority could offer these types of more formal prayers. However, in keeping with the spirit of this new age in Japan, Kami instructed Konko Daijin to pray for the whole country, all provinces, and all people. At the same time, Kami instructed him to put up the banner in order to declare this desire for the people. In doing so, Konko Daijin came to realize the vastness of the realm in which his virtue was to be manifested.
Konko Daijin was also instructed on the same day to compile a list of those who had been given divine names and another list of those who were known as the first disciples. The list of divine known as the book of divine names and was also disciples. Kami further stated that from this time forward, divine names will no longer be given, which helped them realize two things. First, giving such names created a sense of associated to one's spiritual development. Second, rather than seeking a title, it was more important for those performing mediation to deepen their faith by expanding the focus of the prayers to ensure the happiness of all people and worldwide harmony. However, on November 1st, 1868, Kami did so Konko Daijin's wife and children with divine names, which did not contradict the earlier revelations since the family members were not mainstream leaders. Joseph's divine name was changed from Ichiki no to Ichiki Daiji. Masaki's divine name was Konko Shoji. Takio received
no recognition, considering the fact that her women during this time. Tura was given the divine name of Ishi, so side name of Kono received the name of Ishi, Suito,
Sue no Tamejin. Thank you. Yeah, that was hard. Okay.
What's this holding?
You will now be singing, Tony. One song? Shining Shimmering Light? Okay. We'll sing Shining Shimmering Light.
Broke my back.
Let's keep
See you, man. Thank you, Kakitsuke. ひがみこんこ大臣全知金の神しゆに願いおかげは心にあり今月今日で頼めひがみこんこ大臣全知金の神しゆに願いおかげは心にあり今月今日で頼めThank you so much. One quick announcement. On February 25th, I believe, Saturday, we're going to have an impromptu garage sale. We don't have many items yet, but if you have anybody or any friends who would like to donate some items for the garage sale or even money, we're going to send all this money to the relief fund for the Syria earthquake. So any help would be greatly appreciated. Thank you and have a great week. Arigatou.